Family owned and operated by Rick Gates, former Brownsville resident and Guyville alumni, the Gates Funeral Home and Crematory offers warmth, convenience, affordability, and ample parking. With a knowledgeable funeral director and compassionate staff, the Gates family and the Gates Funeral Home and Crematory are ready to assist you.
Your local station, WMBS.
The views and opinions presented by the host, guests, or callers on this program do not necessarily represent the positions of WMBS Radio.
I want to know what you're thinking. There are some things you can't hide.
It's Friday, and that means it's
Hot Topics with Kendall, Paul, and Bill, being brought to you by Tire Man's Auto Garage, K2 Engineering, Coldwell Banker, Laurel Ridge Realty, Chestnut Ridge Counseling, Hicks and Ball's Drugstore, Red Rooster Dumpster and Hauling, Gary's Auto Sales, and Bright Stripe Seal Coating and Line Striping. 724-438-4593, the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line. It's open conversation today,
What?
both hours, so give us a call. We are also live streaming on our WMBS Facebook page, so you can go there, like and share the show, or you can comment in the feed.
and, a quick public service announcement. Go
gonna
ahead
snow.
and abandon your cars now.
What?
You know, because the snow that will wipe out civilization is coming this weekend. So abandon your cars now. That way you'll know where you abandoned them.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
because that's what people will do. And and oh, by the way, there's no salt to be bought anywhere in Western Pennsylvania.
Honestly, it's real. It's when these kind of things happen, like a snow, in
Right.
southwestern Pennsylvania
A snow emergency.
in January. And for those of you who didn't just move to this area from Arizona or Florida, this kind of stuff can happen.
Yeah.
And I always wonder, like, how it's Sunday, right? Saturday night into Sunday, probably Monday. How much food do people have if you couldn't go out for 2 days, starting right this second,
Right.
would you be able to make do? Mm-hmm. Right. Have you ever run out of toilet paper?
No.
Never.
Well, maybe
Like
during
July,
during
you have
COVID.
enough food. People go probably days without food anyway to buy food anyway.
Right.
And so you're right.
Another thing is you see all these warnings, posts saying like what to eat if the power goes out. Well, all of these people are, even some of my clients like, oh yeah, we're leaving here, we're going to go to the store, we're going to stock up, just hope that we don't lose power. Why are you buying all this food if you think you're going to lose power?
Right.
I mean, granted, you can put it outside in this kind of weather, but it's just a couple days, you guys. I mean, it's okay. It really is. It's just God's way of giving you a little time to rest.
Can you imagine in Florida? Sometimes it takes 2 weeks for the power to get back
After a
after
hurricane?
a major hurricane.
Or a tropical storm, yeah.
And there are still 10 years later houses with blue roofs.
This is just a chance to get your laundry done,
Yeah.
read
Read a book.
take a nap.
Oh my.
I've been planning for this nap on Sunday.
I'm
It's almost
leaving
like
now.
I'm like planning to go on a vacation.
Hibernate.
Yeah.
Basically just.
I think
Just
TV
cocoon.
does this to pump up the ratings.
Oh,
and you
yeah.
have to have the latest. And to me, the thing is the forecast is always so inaccurate.
Yeah.
It's like we could have snow tomorrow between 6 and 12 inches or 6 and 15 inches.
Yeah.
I've heard with rain the same way. You look at the report, it's like we're going to get this, and then it either never materializes or it materializes way worse than they said it was going to. So I think that the good meteorologists like Bob Kudzma of my youth or whatnot are not around anymore, and I think that they just leave. They want to have you tune it in, Storm Tracker 1200 or whatever, and you got to come in. And, it could be bad. It could be bad. They want you to come back. They want you to keep watching it. We'll update this in the half hour, right?
Yeah.
It's all about ratings
And
and pumping it up.
Yeah, it's all about today is a super duper danger impact day.
Yeah. It's going to be
Yeah,
10
because-
degrees. Bundle up your kids at the bus stop. Like, who doesn't know to do this?
Well, actually,
you need a
there are
reminder?
some parents around here.
Oh
I
my gosh!
wonder
Or
about.
how about the ones? And this will get someone a quick unfollow from me. I like them, but I can't see it. listen, there have been posts that saying not to even let your dog take him out to go potty.
Apparently, that's somebody who doesn't own a dog.
No, it is. So now we go buy puppy pads for the dog because they can't go out their little paws just to pee and poo. Like, it's okay, people.
Yeah, dogs existed
Way
a
before we
long
started to
time
personify
ago.
them into humans.
I think they're descended from wolves, right?
Yeah. They have a vague idea what to do. It's like these people who are saying, oh, all these outdoor cats, what are they doing? They're finding places to stay warm.
And we're going to see them in the summer, climbing up
boy.
on our porch and peeing on our...
Peeing on our shrubbery.
Yes,
And,
yeah. They're still going to be here in June, July, people.
yeah, so anyway, I mean, I'm not saying don't be cautious. Go out there, treat your sidewalks, get ready. But
Of course, but
it
that's
is not
anytime.
the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. The WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593.
Oh, okay.
Already got somebody on the line. Hi, you're on the air. Who are we speaking with?
Hi, everybody. It's Mark from Collinsville.
Hey, Mark.
I think it's human nature to do the opposite, just to feel excitement of doing the wrong thing.
Okay, how are you preparing for the snow?
I'm out of toilet paper. I'm using napkins from boxes.
Well, thanks for sharing, but that's a
You're
little
out-
TMI.
You're out of
Well-
toilet paper?
Well, I ran out last night, but basically, I have a stack of napkins in the kitchen. I have paper towels. But I'm doing good.
Okay,
But,
I would hate to have to pay for your plumber.
Oh boy, I tell you, and
So wait, hold on. I was distracted for a second. We were messing with the volume. What? You don't have toilet paper right now?
basically now I have a couple of these things that my dog likes to play with. But
So what are you gonna do?
oh, my daughter's gonna call at a Walmart order probably tonight.
Oh, okay. So you'll be okay.
That's basically, I'm fine. But it's just
Phew.
it's like kids at Kennywood. It's like, okay, after Kittyland, it's like Mama says, maybe you better not go up. It's like, oh, I've been waiting.
This won't be a good time. This wouldn't be a good weekend for you to go to a magic shop and buy handcuffs and get the key, break the key.
No, that would be a bit.
Don't do anything.
Yeah.
Don't do anything outrageous
Yeah.
this weekend.
I was an expert on that. See, I was the only one that could get them off.
Oh, well, if ever I get locked into a pair of handcuffs, okay, let's just
Bill,
not finish
please
that
don't.
sentence.
Bill,
Yeah.
Bill.
Yeah. Hey, Mark, have a great.
Mark, stay warm, and we hope you get your toilet paper.
Yeah, we really do.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Mark.
Take care.
You bet.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Hi, you're on Hot Topics. Who are we speaking with? Hi, you're on. Yeah, it's you. You're on.
Well, jeepers. Well, I'm calling you from out of town, so we're not subject to all of this heavy weather. But the
Where are you calling from?
I'm out in California, out in San Francisco. Yeah,
Oh.
I call once in a while.
Okay.
Hey, yeah, I was going to say, if I know the gardening show is coming up later today, and there are a lot of invasive species that can really be walloped back with a storm like this. So I'm wondering if, I keep hearing, I think you started the show talking about how all the salt is sold and can't even get it anymore. Well, I've kind of refused to use salt on the driveway and whatnot. I've gone out of my way to get
in
walnut
San
shells
Francisco or when you were here?
Well, I used to live in Colorado and Missouri and a bunch of places.
Okay, so
They
you're
get
familiar with
snow
snow.
there,
Okay.
yeah.
Sure, and I'd use peanut shells, I'd use walnut shells, I'd find a way to, sand was an old standby, and
Homestead vibes.
otherwise, stay at home is always a nice idea, but the idea of finding a way to take advantage of this, I'm a baby boomer, so I'm old enough to remember when armadillos were a big deal when they were coming across the Mexican line. Well, those things are all the way up to Iowa by now.
Yeah.
And the idea that invasive species, climate change is real. It's getting warmer, and these invasive species are moving north. And so find a way to make sure these invasive species are walloped back for the year.
Yeah, if this snow
Like stink
cuts,
and stuff.
if this snow cuts down on the population of stink bugs, I'm all for it.
Bring on a
That's one of
blizzard.
them.
Yeah.
Bring
Maybe
on a
those-
blizzard.
Maybe those moths too. What were the
Yeah.
moths that they have?
Yeah, and there's, I don't know if you've ever had bed bugs, but those things are terrible. But even the eggs of a bed bug have got a little gland in them. And if you... Oh, yeah, but if
This
you
is
take
taking
them
an
out...
ugly turn.
I'm gonna puke.
Yeah, if you've got something that's infested with bed bugs, just put them out on the porch or something and freeze them right out of there.
Well, I just hope you don't need to use that pillow later that night, but because it'll take
they
a while
actually
to thaw.
die very quickly.
Yeah. Hey, well,
How cold is it going to be up there?
It's gonna be really cold,
Well, it's
actually.
minus,
Like,
-1, -3 this week. Coming
yeah,
up.
next
yeah,
week
colder
is,
than usual for snow.
Yeah.
Sure.
So-
Yeah. Well, I've been listening to these Minnesota stations, and they're like negative 30.
Yeah, but that's
amazing.
summer for them.
Right. Yeah, I can't even imagine. I've lived in negative 22 before, but never negative 30.
Yeah.
And negative 22. You stepped outside the door, and it was like hitting a wall.
Yeah.
And just walking across the street was quite a chore. But apparently, you get used to it if you're dumb enough, I guess.
What's the temperature where you are right now?
Oh, we're suffering at about 52.
Well, you enjoy the weekend and
Well,
stay
no,
warm, I guess. For
In parts of California, they would be wearing heavy coats and hoodies.
yeah.
I have a question. Curious, just curious. WMBS's reach. Maybe this has to deal with that. If you're in San Francisco, you lived in Colorado and other places, and you're not from this area, I assume. How do you find
No.
WMBS and listen to it? I mean,
It's
what's
just dumb luck.
Okay.
Very popular, Paul.
I know that's what I'm trying to nail down.
We have a heck of a
He probably has a lot of options to listen to a show, and if you're listening to WMBS with no tie to Western PA, that's impressive.
Yeah. Well, it's a good show, and he hears it.
I've built a little thing called a wheel, and it shows what stations worked most recently, and so your call letters came up on the wheel,
That's great.
and it's kind of like how dumb luck works.
No, we're happy with it.
Okay.
You're welcome to call in anytime. Thanks for listening.
And throw away the wheel and just leave it on this station.
Take good care.
Thanks a lot, man.
Will do. Smuggling weather is here.
All right, great.
Thank you. Hi, you're on Hot Topics. Who are we speaking with?
This is Leanne calling
Hey,
for advice
Leanne.
about how to survive the snowstorm. Good Lord. What's wrong with you people? Don't you know that when it snows, you automatically get dysentery?
Oh, I did not.
You have to-
That would
you have
probably come from the extra bourbon that you've been drinking to get through this.
that's the thing. And I'm like, but it's so funny. Obviously, you're going to make a lot of sandwiches because everybody buys multiple loaves of bread. Milk, I guess I could see, especially if you have children eat cereal, but the toilet paper always got me.
Me too.
Are we
Yeah.
planning on having an intestinal episode?
It's so dramatic.
Like that? But you brought up stink bugs. What's with the stink bugs this year? Because they usually disappear during the winter and make their horrible immersion from wherever they've been, which is usually in your clothes someplace, in the spring. But I've been killing stink bugs all winter.
Me too.
Winter.
Me too.
What's with that?
It's global warming. No,
I guess
I have no idea.
Yeah, I know, whatever, but it hasn't been too globally warm around here this winter.
Yeah.
I mean,
Where is
we've had
global warming when you need it?
yeah, right. Where's global warming when you need it? But seriously, I've never seen anything like this. And, it's pretty darn cold today, but I killed 2 stink bugs this morning, making their way to my coffee cup. And I'm like, back you.
No, you
Holy
get out the whip. Yeah. However, you don't kill them because then you'll know why they call them stink bugs.
I'll have to tell you that the odors that they emit will literally nauseate me.
Yeah. Well, I pick them up with a tissue and I flush them down the toilet because I figured, hey, if they can survive that, then they can live.
Yeah, I do the same thing. Or I put them in a plastic sandwich bag and collect them. They don't know what's going on,
Yeah.
and dispose of them. But I learned that the hard way, Bill. From
you don't step on them.
Well, not from that. I mean, you run a risk. Apparently, whenever you first go after them, most of the time they sort of get paralyzed with fear, and they don't emit their malodorous emissions. But once in a while, and you cannot get that smell off your hands. Good Lord.
Yeah. So, but I agree with you. The stink bug population has just exploded during what is normally the down months.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know what's going on.
Well, again, maybe there is a what are people who I used to know the word for people who specialize in bugs.
Is it entomologist?
Entomologist, I believe that is correct. Maybe an entomologist will call and explain to us why the stink bug population is so high.
No, seriously, because I've never seen anything like this, Bill. But anyway, boy, we're going down the trail. It's like we stock up at your toilet paper and stink bug spray, apparently, and survive the blizzard.
Well, Leanne, I hope you survived
Yes,
the
Leanne, you stay
weekend.
warm and stay safe.
We will survive.
All right, yeah.
Okay, you guys take care.
Take care.
Thank you, Leanne. Take care. And this is Hot Topics, the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593, and we will be back.
Looking for a fireplace? Koval Building Supply at 40 Monroe Avenue in Uniontown is more than your plumbing supply store. We specialize in fireplaces of all fuel types, such as gas, wood, pellet, and electric. We're now featuring Harmon pellet stoves from Forge and Flame, perfect for keeping your family warm and cozy. Call Koval today at 724-437-8824 or visit kovalsupply.com to start planning for the winter season. Koval Building Supply, everything you need to make your house feel like home. Looking for a dentist? Dr. Michael George and Dr. Ashley Parker of George Dental Associates, a Uniontown staple, has over 40 years' experience treating patients of all ages. Their caring, professional team of dentists and their staff offer a full range of dental services, including restorative, preventative, pediatric, cosmetic, and so much more. Visit georgedentalassociates.com today. That's georgedentalassociates.com and find out how they can enhance your smile through the art of dentistry. WMBS high school basketball coverage is proudly sponsored by the law firm of Goodwin Como. Voted Fayette County's best attorney, Benjamin F. Goodwin, and the award-winning Goodwin Como team have been trusted by your friends and neighbors for nearly 2 decades. From estate planning and administration to personal injury, workers' compensation, property matters, family law, and criminal defense, they deliver dedicated, personalized representation when it matters most. With 2 convenient offices in Uniontown and Bell Vernon, visit goodwincomo.com or call them at 724-438-1616 for your free initial consultation. Goodwin Como, righting wrongs, securing justice.
Hi, I'm Jason Brady, the owner of Brady's Rad Cafe, the new restaurant in Uniontown Mall near JCPenney's. Join us for our selection of unique burgers and hot dogs, steak and meatball hoagies, and more. Always fresh and made right here by friendly people in a welcoming throwback atmosphere at Brady's Rad Cafe. No frozen fast food, always fresh and fun at Brady's Rad Cafe in the Uniontown Mall near JCPenney's.
439-2323 for 24-hour emergency service. Call us when you need. We're Fayette's Heating and Air Conditioning, your service company.
Be prepared for bone-chilling winter weather. Have Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning install a Bryant high-efficiency furnace in your home to replace that old worn-out system you now have. Choose Bryant's Plus 90 gas furnace or other quality heating system to keep yourself and your family warm and toasty this winter. Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning will also keep your present furnace running at peak efficiency with their 15-point safety check and cleaning. Call Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning today for your appointment. 724-439-2323. That's Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning, your Bryant dealer, Route 119 north of Uniontown, located near Laurel Mall.
Call Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning, 439-2323, 439-2323, 439-2323, 439-2323.
Your mental health is your most valuable asset. With 55 years of experience serving Western Pennsylvania, Chestnut Ridge Counseling Services is ready and able to assist you with all of your mental health needs. Offering over 20 specialized treatments, open access, and just-in-time scheduling means that you receive the treatment you need in a time-conscious fashion. Chestnut Ridge Counseling now offers telehealth, mental health urgent care with immediate access to a mental health professional with no appointment necessary. Call 724-437-0729. That's 724-437-0729 for mental health urgent care at Chestnut Ridge Counseling. Outpatient care options include individual, group, and family therapies, mental health and psychiatric evaluations, and medication services. Outpatient care and services are also available for patients under the age of 18, geared towards youth-centric problems and concerns. Take control of your mental health care with Chestnut Ridge Counseling Services. Call 724-437-0729 to set up an appointment or speak immediately with a mental health professional.
Hot Topics, Kendall, Paul, and Bill, and the WVMS in Uniontown Hospital Talk Line, 724-438-4593.
Yesterday, was it yesterday about the story about the Point Marion? I feel like
I don't know when it was.
This week has felt like 2 weeks in one.
A couple days ago, maybe.
It was reported, WMBS also shared the story, and it's a CBS News story as well. A former vice president of the Point Marion Borough Parks Commission is accused of stealing park funds.
Right.
Investigators say that more than $73,000 was taken through hundreds of unauthorized transactions.
Right.
Between April 21st and August 22nd is when the alleged theft occurred. Right. And it was discovered when bills went unpaid, including the expenses for the Point Marion Regatta, which is a big event. I'm confused about this, and Paul and I were discussing this with the past, I don't know, yesterday or the day before, that the police say that she admitted to taking the money in 2022, but charges were filed later after the case was reopened by our district attorney, Michael Abel. That's kind of, why did nothing happen? And only $17,000 of the 73 has been repaid. She allegedly is a $30.6 million Powerball jackpot winner, which I understood I saw in another...
yeah, she shared it with other people.
Sure, and then at another point before that, she had won a $100,000 lottery prize, which her luck's pretty good. Mm-hmm. It's worn out,
Well,
clearly.
apparently not, because she's admitted to a gambling addiction, and apparently the money is... It must be gone if you're stealing.
Here's my thing, and look,
allegedly,
that's terrible. For one, I mean, no excuse. What always surprises me though, is when these organizations, even when I've sat on municipal authorities, anytime I signed a check, there was always 2 signatures required. Right? Anytime I've been on a bank account of a nonprofit, there's always 2 signatures required. Why? That's a long time between April 21st and August 22nd for that to go unnoticed. With funds that are already limited and can't just quickly be replenished. I'm surprised at the irresponsibility And look, I know everyone wants to trust, and of course we are trusting beings, right? But like, you can't trust. And if I'm a signer, I'm not being on any account unless there's someone else to sign, right? Because I'm not. Don't put me in that position.
Kendall, reporter type thing. Again, unanswered questions from the story. I don't think you can assume that they didn't require 2 signatures. You know, that's an untold part of the story, but that's definitely a logical question to ask the investigators to see if that was required, and you know that may or may not implicate another person. Right. That may mean that a signature was forged. That may mean a whole lot of other things. May is the operative word here, right?
Yeah, we got to know the process, and do they use an auto sign?
Right. So you need to verify the process. You need to know, were there 2 signatures required, and were they carried out? Did someone else sign for the checks? I don't know. I can't say that. I would ask that question for sure. The other question that you had is, why did it take so long? And I would have to commend Auble for filing the charges, but from what I remember...
Well, wait, just to interrupt you. I meant, of course, why did it take so long to file the charges? But more than that, why did it take so long for them to notice?
I think that didn't they notice it back in 2022?
From April 21 to August 22nd.
Okay. So
while she controlled the commission's bank accounts.
Right. Well, that's one good question. The other thing I would offer by way of a possible explanation, operative word possible, right? I know from talking to these similar things that the main thing in these situations is that the people who got bilked of the money usually want it back over putting someone in jail for a long time. Right. So they'll usually say, well, I'll pay you back, and the main thing they want is to get their money back.
Right.
And so a lot of times maybe it's sort of deferred as long as you make payments.
Like restitution.
Yeah, restitution is what we want. Because, you know, we don't really care if you're in jail for 10 years or 5 years or whatever it would be. If we're not getting our money back, we're kind of screwed, so we'll take the money back. So it could be, possibly, that they were making payments back and then that stopped for some reason.
Sure.
And then now it's like, okay, well, guess what?
Now she's not anymore.
These are all possibilities, but those are definitely things I would put in a news story if I were doing it. Those would be questions that I would ask and try to add that information to make it more complete.
I don't know how there could have been 2 signatures required. That would kind of implicate somebody else in this, too.
There's all kind of possibilities. Okay, did someone just sign it automatically in good faith? Was their signature forged? I'm not saying that did or didn't happen. Okay, I'm just saying these are the possibilities.
But the questions remain.
The questions would remain on that. So I don't think you can assume that they did not require 2 signatures, although that seems likely based on what we're hearing. But I would definitely ask the people these questions and make my story more complete.
Yeah,
but that's just me.
Something else that's missing from this story. What are they going to do to prevent this from happening in the future?
Require 2 signatures.
But if they already do, now what do you do?
I doubt they... Look, people, if you sit on a board and you have access to a bank account, and you would obviously know if you're a check signer, but if it's not already in place, at your next meeting, change the bylaws. You have to have 2 signatures. It protects the organization. It protects you as the check signer. It protects a lot. And you see this all the time, like these people on these boosters.
Right. I don't think you can trust a lot of people around money these days. I mean, this happens with alarming frequency. You know, I mean, alarming frequency that I could probably research and get a list of 12 really easy in Fayette County or area, the general area, where people just take the money for gambling or for jewelry or for vacations and things like that. Car dealerships, I've seen stories where they were the business person at the car dealership, and that may be in Westmoreland County, you know, not just Fayette, but you know, you can't trust people around money, which I think is sad.
Yeah. Also, the point you brought up, why don't we notice these things sooner? I mean, $70,000 is a big chunk of some of these budgets around here.
And over a year's time.
Yeah, I mean, it's not over like 20 years.
And it's also not it was not just 2-3 months.
Yeah.
It was over a year. Who's looking at the books?
That's another question, though. You're right. I mean, the places that I've covered, like the Housing Authority and other places, I'm pretty sure that they would approve the vouchers for the month. The whole board got copies of everything.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
In this case, if they were doing that, again, another question: were they doing it or not? or should they have been doing it and didn't?
And was she providing the reports and
recirculating it to the members on that board or that commission or whatever it would have been, right? And they should have seen that. And you would think also that the borough would be interested in getting that information to review.
It's a shame, and it deters people from even wanting to be on these boards and in these organizations because they don't want the drama, they don't want associated, and when you find people who are willing to volunteer, I mean, that's a blessing because people don't want to volunteer their time. So you get someone you think they're good, but I cannot imagine blowing through millions of dollars on a gambling addiction, and now your reputation's tarnished. Now you're known as a thief, alleged or not. That's how the public is going to view. Yeah.
So
724-438-4593, the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line. Phones are open.
And we'll come back with more of Hot Topics.
Ready to score big on your next home? Well, great news. Huge savings are waiting for you at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. From open floor plans perfect for game day parties to energy-efficient homes that will help you save money all season long, these homes are built to deliver. Don't wait on the sidelines. Make the winning play today and find the home that fits your family and lifestyle. Visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon at 4500 Route 51. Are you looking for the perfect way to brighten someone's day? At Perry Floral and Gift Shop in Perryopolis, every bouquet is handcrafted with care. Fresh, vibrant, and designed to make any moment unforgettable. From birthdays and anniversaries to just because, their florists create arrangements that speak from the heart. Browse unique gifts, seasonal decor, and charming keepsakes you won't find anywhere else. Stop in today or call to order fast local delivery. Perry Floral and Gift Shop, where every bloom tells a story.
Businesses come in all shapes and sizes. Integrity doesn't. For more than a century, the Better Business Bureau has set the standards for how businesses should operate honestly and ethically. So when you're looking for a business you can trust, check to see who's BBB accredited and who isn't. Always choose the Better Business. Look for the BBB seal because it's looking out for you. That's why it's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Feeling lucky? Your next big jackpot is waiting for you. Visit the casino at Nemacolin in Farmington, PA for the ultimate casino experience featuring the hottest table games, daily promotions, big-time giveaways, and an exciting variety of premium slots. And after, celebrate your big win with a juicy burger at the Royale while you watch the big game. Hotel packages available. Visit CasinoNemacolin.com for more information. The Casino at Nemacolin. Game on. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi everyone, this is Kelly Clark with Autoland Hyundai in downtown Uniontown. 724-208-5281. What makes buying your next vehicle for me worthwhile? I make it a very easy 5-step process. You look, you shop, you ask, you decide. And I listen. Kelly Clark, Autoland Hyundai, 724-208-5281. 724-208-5281. Kelly Clark, Autoland Hyundai. I'll make you a good deal.
Having Hicks and Buzz Drugstore in Uniontown means reliability, quality, and service. Pharmacists Stephen Harper and Seth Miller gladly answer healthcare questions and take care of your prescription needs. Hicks and Buzz also offers free prescription delivery, mail-out service for snowbirds, and dependable courteous service, all part of their good neighbor way of doing business. Hicks and Buzz Drugstore, 304 Morgantown Street, phone 724-437-2828. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, Saturday till 3, closed Sunday at Hicks and Buzz Drugstore of Uniontown.
WNBS.
Hot Topics, Kendall, Paul, and Bill on your local station, WNBS. WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. 3. Well, turns out we're not going to buy or take Greenland. It's going to stay a Danish property. I have this feeling that basically what the president was doing was rope-a-dope, where he made all these outlandish, I'm going to, taking it by force is not off the table. This is how he does business. He makes outrageous statements, and then he makes a deal. And that's pretty much what's happened here.
I haven't followed it, but the last I heard it was looking like there was gonna be a deal.
Yeah.
So something changed in the last 24
No.
hours?
I saw a reel on Facebook, and again, I don't put 100% stock in any of these reels, but I listened to all of them and try to reach my own conclusions. And there was a guy on there, and he explained the purpose behind this, and it made sense to me. Basically, Greenland is in a strategic position because he said most of the Soviet submarines and that sort of thing need to come through there, okay, to get into the ocean, and that there's no way that Denmark could effectively defend that or stop that. But if the United States is there, plants their flag there, basically, they have a base of their own that they can use to sort of keep tabs on that or keep that strait from being used if they decided to send all these ships or submarines out to sea. That part sort of made sense to me, that you'd want to get that before they could deploy military. Either I read stories about the flight path over top of it and that sort of thing. So I think it's a strategic asset, and he's kind of viewing it that way. And I agree with you, Bill, that Trump is good for rattling the saber, okay? Yeah. And then worst case scenario type things, and everybody gets up in arms, and then you come back and you sort of meet in the middle, and then there's some agreeable thing. Same with the tariffs, right?
Yeah.
There's going to be 100%. Well, you're going to raise yours 100% too. Then we're going to go 125. And then it comes back. All these things sound to me sort of like a lot of, I don't want to say much ado about nothing, but a lot of overreaction and not a lot of good reporting on the strategic reasons why it's going on. And maybe that's partly the fault of the Trump administration for not explaining it as clearly as they could or should, right? But remember, when we're going to start the immigration crackdown, oh my gosh, if you get rid of all these people, an apple's going to cost you $5 because who's going to pick the fruit?
Yeah.
This has been going on for how long now? And is a bag of apples $20? I mean, are apples still being picked? Are they rotting in the fields like it was predicted? No.
Yeah.
No, they found a way to do it. Yeah. So,
and by the way, the people that have picked apples have been legal immigrants forever. They went through the process. And by the way, the ICE did not arrest a 5-year-old boy.
And when you see ICE going to these people's homes, and there's this thing now because they don't need a warrant, they're going to the house, they're going to go in. That's the last chance. A judge has already ordered for these people to get scooting, to do for their due process is already in process. So they're not just randomly showing up at people's homes for the first time, walking in and taking them out. I mean, it's already been in court, right?
That's an interesting point. I thought about that same topic. I'm glad you brought it up. I see the news stories now coming out. They're trying to make the story about the 5-year-old kid. Like they snatched up a 5-year-old kid. Look what happened by going after his father. You left this kid stranded, or now he's in custody too. He was used as bait to get the father, and the father is a migrant. He's not a citizen, and they were after him. So, to me, it's like they want to change the narrative, and like there's not enough talking about who this guy was that they were after, why they were after him, right? And was it okay to do to him what they did? The fact that he happens to have a 5-year-old kid in tow really is sort of it's augmenting it, but it's not the focus of the story. Is by taking this migrant off the streets for whatever reason, right? You've now terrorized the little kid who was with him. That's sort of collateral, the secondary to the situation.
Also, if they didn't, then we go right back to, I can't believe they're separating the families.
Right.
I can't believe they're separating the families.
And let us not
Can't
forget.
ever make anyone happy. And again, it's normalized now to defy federal law.
Yeah.
Literally, it's the law.
I would add this, and it's a good point too. I thought about this. For years and years and years, when they talked about the illegal immigration problem, right? the states would say, well, we can't do anything about it. That's a federal jurisdiction thing. We can't do anything about it. And so now you have an administration federally that is attempting to do something about it. And then you have certain states that say, oh, this is so terrible. They weren't doing it themselves. They claimed they didn't have the authority. They didn't have the manpower in places like, let's just say Minnesota, where a lot of this is going on, not Minneapolis, right? So the federal government now comes in and says, well, we're going to take care of it. Well, they've been pawning jurisdiction off onto the federal government for years and years and decades and decades. But nobody took it seriously enough to do anything about it in this manner. And now that they're doing it, you want to do the rope-a-dope, right? Oh, it's terrible.
And where
it.
were all the tears and where are the protests when Obama deported 3.1 million? Over 400,000 in 1 year. Where were the protests? Where was the media? Where were the cameras? Because it was the same agency, federal agency, immigration, to deport these people.
Yeah,
It's something else. It is, and with the protests, which we can talk about more if you guys want to in the next half after the news, but Don Lemon, the biggest loser on the planet, and
how do you lose a job at CNN? But that's another matter.
And the protest at that city's church.
Yeah.
My gosh, that was one of the most and this. It made January 6th look like a guided tour, which I've said before. Oh yes, it did, Bill.
I know January 6th was a riot, and I will say
they were
that.
walking in a straight line within the ropes. These people went into the church.
Go into a place that you're just causing disruption.
Yeah.
And if you go looking, I put it on my Facebook, if you go places looking for trouble, sooner or later you're going to find it.
You're going
to do this in the wrong place. And
3 arrests
and somebody's going to pull a rod on you and, boom, boom, boom.
Well, what I love, by the way, is the guy that said, well, okay, go ahead and arrest me. I dare you. Well, guess what?
Who, William Kelly?
Yeah, he's under arrest.
Yeah, one of them was a St. Paul school board member and a community organizer. Another one, this Nakima Armstrong, civil rights attorney and prominent local activist. Well, she didn't know her law.
Oh, by the way,
loved it. I hope more people get arrested for that. That is such a sacred place.
Yeah.
You do not do that.
And by the way,
terrible.
Don Lemon has said, come arrest me. Maybe not the wisest thing to say
Don
right
Lemon
now.
Lemon is such a loser.
My question is, what do they think they were going to accomplish? Because all they did was get people angry at them.
And they got arrested on federal charges.
Not in their minds. In their minds, they think that they're doing something
Well,
righteous
they're
and good,
fighting a
and
blow?
they're not.
Yeah.
They're lonely,
I saw one
misfit people.
where the one guy was disrupting it, and somebody went up to him. A congregation member went up to him and said, "Don't you touch me," or whatever.
That was Don. He said, "Don't push me to the preacher."
Well, I know some people, even in church, that if that had happened, like where I grew up, somebody would have punched
my
him.
dad was there. Can you imagine,
If your dad was there, somebody would have got punched.
or any man who has, anyone. Okay, we have a call.
So, again, the thing is like, if we remember the protest, the civil rights protest, and they never did anything to really get people angry at them, except for the people they were trying to change, like the people that ran the Woolworths lunch counter and things like that. Mm-hmm. Now they're just twerking off the average population. Hi, you're on the Hot Topics. Who are we speaking with?
Hey, it's Skipper calling today again.
Hey, Skipper.
How you guys?
Good. We have about 2 minutes.
Okay. I always talk about the weather. It's a nice day today, but it's going to be really bad. Right. I was looking on Facebook. I got memories, and I've seen where it came up like a few years ago is -3. Before it was -6. That was real bad. So we're in the middle of winter here, so everybody should be ready for this thing. I just hope the snow doesn't have knockout power like in the mountains and stuff. That's where it gets really bad.
We hope so too.
Yeah.
Yes. I was going to talk about the Point Marion thing there.
Yeah.
I lived there almost my whole life. I just moved here to Uniontown, and it's really sad. I know all those people down there, and it's sad because Paul was talking about the scenarios of, how it could be, how this was one transaction, one sign or whatever. But anyways, I think a lot of those didn't even make it to the bank. I think it was a lot of cash that never even made it to the bank because I saw all my friends doing their fundraisers and selling tickets and stuff.
You're saying allegedly, just for safety here.
Right, allegedly. And so what I'm saying is that it was never even had to have a signature because it never got to the bank, to get back out of. And that was, I think, the main issue right there.
Yeah.
They didn't want to see the deposit from the big events?
Well, I mean, like I said, it's just a small town. It's not like a big professional.
No, you don't have to be. Yeah. I'm not. And I again, one has nothing to do with the other. She shouldn't have done that. I feel terribly for Point Marion, but it doesn't matter if you're a borough, a municipality, a township, a county. Yeah, you got to have.
So let me one last little comment, and I'll let you guys go. Look here. Some people, and I know people, quite a few of them, the lady from Uniontown that took the money from the treasury there, and this lady, and I know a couple others like this, they don't care what anybody thinks about them. They could care less. The only thing they need is to be put in jail because they don't care about nothing else or nobody. And that's why we have jails, and that's why we have punishment like that. So I think that's the way it should go.
Hey, stay safe this weekend.
Yeah. All right.
Take care.
And that wraps up hour number 1 of Hot Topics with Kendall and Paul and Bill. But as I always say, I have good news.
We'll be back.
We'll be back. We got hour number 2 coming up right after the news with TJ Stefano here on your local station, 590 AM, 101.1 FM, WNBS Uniontown. It's 2 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. A massive winter storm is taking aim at much of the country. CBS's Jim Krasula has more from the mountains of southwestern Virginia.
Millions, including Lisa Strong, are stocking up ahead of what's predicted to be one of the worst storms in recent memory across the mid and deep south, southeast and mid-Atlantic.
I have some of everything. I do have the milk, the bread, and the eggs. I have lots of chicken in here.
Parts of 35 states are under winter storm warnings and advisories. Widespread travel disruptions and power outages are expected. Jim Krasula, CBS News, Fancy Gap, Virginia.
CBS's Nicole Valdez is in Nashville, Tennessee.
There are not many snow plows here because, again, we just don't get that much snow, but they've got 45 this year. And every time they get a new fleet, these school children get to hold a contest and name those new snow plows. So of the several names that won this year, Dolly Plowton is one of them. Another one is Snowella and Blizzard of Oz.
The rain falling in North Texas is a prelude to ice and extreme cold. The FBI has captured alleged drug kingpin and former Canadian Olympic snowboarder Ryan Wedding in Mexico City. Wedding is accused of running a drug ring that trucked tons of cocaine between Colombia, Mexico, Southern California, and Canada. He's also charged with orchestrating the murders of several witnesses. FBI Director Kash Patel.
This individual and his organization and the Sinaloa cartel poured narcotics into the streets of North America and killed too many of our youth and corrupted too many of our citizens. And that ends today.
Jury selection is set to begin on September 8th for Luigi Mangione, who's accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in December 2024. A federal judge says the rest of the trial schedule is contingent on whether she allows prosecutors to seek the death penalty. Russia, Ukraine, and the U.S. are holding peace talks in Abu Dhabi in an effort to end the nearly 4-year-long war, the BBC's Sarah Rainsford reports.
They're focusing on the real big disagreements at the heart of all of this, which is the question of territory. Russia has said again overnight that it insists Ukraine needs to hand over parts of the eastern Donbass region that Russia has been unable to win on the battlefields.
Consumers are feeling slightly more optimistic about their financial situation. CBS's Jason Brooks.
Consumers say that their purchasing power is being squeezed by high prices, but the University of Michigan's Consumer Sentiment Index rose in January with broad-based gains. The survey says the gains were seen across all income, education level, age, and political groups. However, sentiment is still down 20% from a year ago due to inflation and weaker job market prospects.
Stocks are mixed on Wall Street right now. This is CBS News.
Real crimes, real justice. Follow and listen to 48 Hours on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Main Street Theater Company proudly presents Grease on stage at the State Theater January 30th and 31st at 7 p.m. and February 1st at 2. Follow the journey of Danny and Sandy, the Pink Ladies, and the Burger Palace Boys in one of the world's most popular and enduring musicals. With an unforgettable soundtrack featuring hit songs like Greased Lightning, Hopelessly Devoted to You, You're the One That I Want, and more. For tickets, call 724-439-1360 or online at statetheater.info.
At Davis & Davis, we understand that facing legal challenges can be overwhelming. That's why we're here to guide you along the way. This is Attorney Jim Davis. With over 45 years of experience, our team is dedicated to fighting for your rights and making sure you get the maximum amount of money that you deserve. The best part is you won't pay us a penny until we win your case, and we will win your case. If you are hurt, injured, or need help with workers' compensation, call us today for a free consultation. Call 724-437-2799 and get the protection that you deserve.
There's pushback in Philadelphia over a move made by federal officials at a historic site. Here's CBS's Steve Kathan.
Informational signs about slavery were removed from the President's House in Old City, Philadelphia, a historic site operated by the National Park Service. Local preservationist Paul Steinke says that exhibit was created after years of research to, quote, make sure we got the story right.
If we don't commemorate it, if we don't recognize it, we're disrespecting the people who had to go through that terrible time. And in a matter of minutes, it was all ripped down.
Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro posted on social media, quote, Donald Trump will take any opportunity to rewrite and whitewash our history, but he picked the wrong city. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
The college football playoff will remain at 12 teams after the commissioners of the Southeastern Conference and Big Ten couldn't come up with a compromise for expansion. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
The award-winning local district and statewide news is being brought to you by NovaCare Rehabilitation, a leading provider of preventative and rehabilitative services to promote physical wellness for patients of all ages and abilities. In your neighborhood with new state-of-the-art facilities on 104 Delaware Avenue in Uniontown. Call 724-437-0556 for NovaCare. And now to the news. And good afternoon. It's 2:05. It is now mostly cloudy and 29 outside of our Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law studios, Fayette County's personal injury attorneys since 1976. Your local station, 590 AM, 101.1 FM, WMBS. I'm TJ DeStefano. Sports and weather will follow the news. A Washington County man will be spending the rest of his life behind bars for sexually abusing a child. The Pennsylvania Attorney General's office reports 63-year-old Miguel Pedrosa has been sentenced to between 30 and 60 years in prison after pleading guilty to multiple felonies, including child rape. Investigators say Pedrosa abused the 12-year-old victim for a period of months and was arrested after an incident was caught on a hidden camera that the child's mother placed in her home. Pedrosa was a close acquaintance to the family. Westmoreland County will launch its celebration of America's 250th birthday tomorrow with a symbolic light-up ceremony at the county courthouse. The kickoff is scheduled for 4:30 p.m. in the public meeting room inside. Following remarks and presentations, the celebration will move outdoors where the Westmoreland sign will be illuminated in red, white, and blue lights. The sign is expected to remain lit nightly through at least July the 4th, while the courthouse dome will be illuminated in red, white, and blue periodically throughout the year. Giant Eagle is making it easy for customers to stock up on essentials before the snow moves into the area. Tomorrow, the grocery retailer is offering free delivery on orders scheduled today through noon tomorrow. The offer is good on orders of at least $35 placed through the Giant Eagle app or website using the promo code Stay Warm. Stores also have free curbside pickup available as well. Elsewhere, we have this news. A new study has found what may be a direct link between dementia and body mass index. Tammy Trujillo is going to tell us more.
Researchers in Denmark say their study shows that being overweight and having high blood pressure are direct causes of increased vascular dementia risk. Vascular dementia is caused by not enough blood and oxygen reaching the brain. An increase in body mass index and elevated blood pressure could cause the blood vessel damage that leads to vascular dementia. The study's co-author says the research makes weight gain and blood pressure highly actionable targets for dementia prevention. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
WMBS time is 2:08. Sports and weather after this.
Did you know that you have a choice for your physical therapy provider? NovaCare Rehabilitation offers same-day appointments, and oftentimes you don't need a prescription from your doctor to see us. We will make sure that you are treated as an individual and will work directly one-on-one with you to help achieve your goals. You have tried the rest, now try the best. NovaCare, Delaware Avenue in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-0556 to schedule your appointment today.
In sports, tonight's the C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night on WMBS as Laurel Highlands is at Latrobe. That'll be on the radio as well as video on our YouTube page. And Uniontown there at Penn Trafford, that'll be video on Facebook only. The Sprouse Insurance Group pregame is at 6:40, and both games will start at 7:30. College basketball tomorrow on WMBS. Pitt will host NC State at the Peterson Events Center. That game will tip off at noon. Penguins, they've won 3 in a row. They'll wrap up their Western trip on Sunday night. They visit the Vancouver Canucks. Pens are 25-14-11. Face-off is at 6 Sunday night on WMBS. Cloudy for the rest of the afternoon, 31. The cold weather advisory starts at 4 this afternoon and it'll go through 7 tomorrow morning. We're going to be partly cloudy and 0 will be the low tonight. Tomorrow's a cloudy day, 16. The winter storm warning starts at 7 tomorrow night and runs through noon on Monday. Snow all day on Sunday, 26. The snow will continue into Sunday night and wrap up Monday morning. And Monday's high will be 17 degrees. Lots of different ranges on snow. 9 to 14 was the last that I heard. Right now, cloudy and 29 outside of our Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law Studios. It's 2:10 on this Friday. I'm TJ DeStefano. Up next, it's hour 2 of Hot Topics with Kendall, Paul, and Bill here on WMBS. The award-winning local district and statewide news has been brought to you by NovaCare Rehabilitation, now offering telehealth and home-based care as well. Located on 104 Delaware Avenue in Uniontown, call 724-437-0556 for NovaCare.
Happy New Year! Go to 40 Uniontown and trade me in!
John Clayton with Dominic Carbone from your 7-time President Award-winning 40 Uniontown. Dominic, Happy New Year to you.
Hey, JC, to you as well. Let me tell you how we are going to get this new year started off right. Take up to $6,000 off MSRP on 2025 F-150 STX and take up to $4,000 off MSRP on 2026 Explorer.
Dang, Dom, that's a deal. Listen, we have great offers on all of our new models. And check this out, leasing is back. Lease offers have gotten significantly better, so stop, click, or call to get all of the details.
Pre-owned, you know we got them. We have over 60 in stock. Most are certified with factory warranty and competitive rates.
We are continuing to offer mobile service, online maintenance appointments, and our very popular pickup and delivery option. Your car knows, shouldn't you? That's Ford of Uniontown on the hill across from Applebee's, or check us out at FordofUniontown.com. Offers include all applicable incentives. Sale ends February 2nd.
Hey everyone, this is Josh Krysak here letting you know that it's not too late to purchase a shed, carport, or building due to the cold weather that's upon us. Ron from Ultimate Structures will explain.
Here at Ultimate Structures, we go full-time, year-round to service our customers. Don't let the cold weather discourage you from purchasing the storage building for your needs. Our manufacturers and installation crews keep chugging through the cold weather. There may be minor delays due to snow and ice, but you can be assured every attempt will be made to get your building up and ready to protect your valuables.
That is great news to hear, Ron. Our listeners can still purchase a shed, carport, garage, or building to fit their needs.
Customers can call me anytime to discuss their needs at 724-557-3281. That's 724-557-3281. We can sit down and design what you desire. Come out to our mega lot to view models to fulfill your dreams. We are Ultimate Structures, satisfying Fayette County customers since 2007.
Zen's Antiques and Home Decor, a part of the Cinder Shack family of vendors where you can find both antique and new furniture, collectibles, housewares, gift items including jewelry and candles, and so much more. Follow Zen's Antiques and Home Decor on Facebook for new items and information on upcoming events. Zen's Antiques and Home Decor in Building 2 at 3391 National Pike in Farmington. Zen's Antiques and Home Decor.
Are you considering a project design and don't know where to start? K2 Engineering offers a wide range of professional civil, architectural, and municipal services to meet your individual project needs. Our versatility, combined with our personalized approach, is what sets us apart as a full-service engineering and consultation firm. To learn more about our services, please visit us on the web at www.k2engineering.net. K2 Engineering, where customer service is our priority.
Bad hair day? Bad day at the office? Bad day behind the wheel? Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. Gives you a great rate that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about.
Your Erie agent in Uniontown and Ross Traver Township is Sproul's Insurance Group, 724-437-9812, or go to sproulsinsurance.com.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
Your local station, WMBS.
The views and opinions presented by the host, guests, or callers on this program do not necessarily represent the positions of WMBS Radio.
And welcome back. Your dreams were your tickets out. This is hour number 2 of
Hot Topics with Kendall, Bill, and Paul, being brought to you by Tire Man's Auto Garage, K2 Engineering, Caldwell Banker, Laurel Ridge Realty, Chestnut Ridge Counseling, Hicks and Ball's Drugstore, Red Rooster Dumpster and Hauling, Gary's Auto Sales, and Bright Stripe Seal Coating and Line Striping. 724-438-4593, the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital Talk Line. And we are live streaming on our WMBS Facebook page. The open conversation. First half was open conversation. We had some calls, and we will be taking your calls on this during the second hour. Paul, Robert Burns.
Oh, yeah. After last week's show, Kendall talked to me briefly about some of these Facebook pages and trying to figure out like who's behind which ones and that sort of thing. And, it was just a parting comment or whatever, right? Because we have 3 or 4 of them out there now that are Truth in Fayette or whatever, right?
Yeah, and it's not so much trying to figure out. I think at this point it's painfully obvious who's behind them. I mean, it's painfully obvious, and it's pretty pathetic. And so that leads to
this feeds into the thing that I've always talked about, which is like transparency. People out there saying that I'm for transparency, and as a journalist, I mean a legitimate journalist, which I was, we were always taught always consider the source. Okay, and you can have freedom of speech. These people are free to say what they want on their Facebook pages. They're free to name them what they want, truth and whatever. But the people, I think, need to know or should know who's behind them and who they really are. Because without that, you really don't know the source, and you don't know what the source's motivations might be. So to me, transparency includes like putting your name behind what you're doing and what you're saying, so people know you're here, I'm here, name. Bill's here. Yeah, your real name. When my name was in the Herald Standard when I wrote a story, my name was on it, and it was me. And people would call up and say, why are you letting Paul write that story? Or I liked it, or I hated it. But it was legitimate. It was done by me, and you knew it was me. Same thing with the other reporters that were there, right? The editorial page editor wrote the editorials for the most part. Once in a while, the editor might write one. But you could just say, well, I know who the source of that information is. So the other day on Facebook, I logged on, and there was this, staring me in the face, the Fayette County Uncensored Facebook page or whatnot. And it said, I've decided to share my true identity. For a time, I stayed undercover to uncover what was really happening in Fayette County. As trust grew and the truth became clearer, it was time to step into the open. I want the public to be informed. Matt Dowling is attempting to silence me as a journalist by weaponizing the courts to suppress legitimate reporting. I will not be silenced or intimidated. Underneath the Fayette County Uncensored,
where you can see who made the post
is Robert Burns, Independent Pen.
Right.
And so I just shake my head at this, and I think, okay, now on the one hand, Robert Burns is the Independent Pen is saying, "This is me, Robert Burns," and you took a lot of grief on the phone, right, a month or so ago, from TJ. Right? When you brought up Robert Burns, he called to defend him. He said he was real, correct? Okay, you challenged him to come on the show.
I contacted Robert Burns 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, not invited him, basically.
Yeah, invited him on. He couldn't because he couldn't go on.
Because you were so biased.
So biased. But then John Marietta, the recorder of deeds, act with a platform like he's a United States senator or some sultan. He says, "Oh, but Robert Burns we're going to get him on the show.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably going to come on the show."
Right.
I have not heard of Robert Burns being on the show. He's clearly never physically come in, which we offered him transportation, lunch, the whole kit and caboodle. He's fake. He's absolutely fake. And then whenever TJ said, John Marietta is not behind the Robert Burns, he has nothing to do with him, then how does Robert Burns always quote John Marietta in his stories? And why is he would only be willing to go on John Marietta's show? One of the most biased shows, which of course he doesn't mask himself not to be, right? He's a very conservative platform.
You're allowed to do that.
Just like George is a very
liberal.
Sure.
Yeah.
Democratic hour versus
comparatively speaking.
We the people, yeah.
Comparatively speaking.
Yes.
Right. So I just thought that, like, for me personally, why wouldn't you want to take advantage of this opportunity? It gives you a platform. You're offering someone. They used to beat up on the Herald Standard when I was covering the Housing Authority and other things, and it's like, Paul, what is he doing this for? And the Herald Standard got it all wrong or whatever. And I always loved it when we filmed the meetings, because if you didn't believe my story, you could go watch the meeting and see that I get it right. And nobody ever claimed then that so-and-so didn't really say it that way. Or so-and-so.
You're taking it
out of context. Exactly right. But to their credit, Brian Mrazek, Bob Foltz called me up. If you want to come on the show, we'll be glad to offer you time on Friday. And I told Mike Ellis, the editor, I'd like to go. And Mike came with me the first few times. And after that, I came all the time. I couldn't wait to come on the show and tell you what we did, why we did it, defend any criticism. I'm here. Let's do it. I can't for the life of me understand why Robert Burns would not want to do that.
Because he's not real.
Well, especially if these websites or this service is a business.
What do you mean, like the independent pen?
Yeah. If you are looking to expand your client base, how better to do it than to go on?
Oh yeah, people literally in politics would kill for the chance to get a story in the paper. I don't. That's I'm not saying that literally. Okay.
Well,
the goal of the press release is always to get them to do a story on you.
Right.
The goal if you get on TV for whatever reason, that's a major score, right? If the Pittsburgh TV stations, if you get on the radio, same thing.
By the way, the goal of a press release these days is to get them to print your press release verbatim.
Yes, a lot of that goes on. You're correct.
That's another issue.
You're correct. But I think that I have read some of these things by Robert Burns, and another telltale sign is when they always seem to skew toward unnamed sources. Many people in the courthouse said that they're upset about this. We were taught you don't use unnamed sources. If you do, sparingly, and if it's unnamed sources, there's a reason for it, right? So if people aren't willing to put their name to it, or you're not putting people's name to the accusation or to the comment, can you imagine doing a news story, Bill, where I did for the Herald Standard about a tax increase in Fayette County, and I had no names to it?
Yeah.
One person said they're really ticked off.
Strike. Yeah.
I know.
They wouldn't let you do that.
They do that. The independent pen articles, specifically from Robert Burns, will say that someone at the fair said, but then in the next paragraph, quote John Marietta. Here's the thing. If you're going to be shady, if you're going to have these, these fake accounts and become these fake people, you got to do better than that. Right. Because most people don't care about those stupid
Here's one quick comment before we take the call. You're absolutely right, Kendall. Another misnomer to me is calling it the independent pen.
Yeah.
Because that has a connotation that you are legitimate and you are being independent. When you read some of these stories, as I have, the Robert Burns stories, the independent pen stories, right? They'll say it was Fayette County Commissioner Scott Dunn, Vince Facese, and Harry Kaufman did this. No attempt to call any of those elected officials and get a comment from them, but you're talking to people in the courthouse. To be the independent pen and to be a fair and balanced and transparent thing, first of all, your name should be who you are when you're writing it. Number two, you have to make a good faith effort to contact these commissioners. Big difference between them not wanting to talk to you, and you can put in that story, independent pen contacted Vince Vasidi, Scott Dunn, and Harry Kaufman for comment. They didn't return our calls. As opposed to not even making the effort.
Not even making the effort. That's all on purpose.
And by the way, in nowhere are we saying that Robert Burns isn't real. What
Yes,
we're
I am.
saying-
Yes,
what
I
we're
am.
saying is not that he is hiding behind a
Pseudonym.
fake name.
A pseudonym, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
name.
There is somebody out there writing this stuff. This is not.
And that's
But it's not
AI
Robert
generated.
Burns.
But if
Well,
it
that-
is him, he
it's
should
not
appear.
his
Here's
name,
another
yeah.
wrinkle to it, right? If there is really a Robert Burns, okay, and you're making this effort, it makes to me a world of difference if Robert Burns is from Fayette County, can come on your show, can show you his driver's license, or hey, I'm registered to vote in Dunbar Township. Okay, he's a Fayette County person who is deeply concerned about Fayette County politics and is trying his best to do this, as opposed to Robert Burns is living in York County,
Bucks County.
or Robert Burns is living in Harrisburg.
Yeah.
Right.
Then people
Coming
have-
here to
then
divide
pe-
and
then
conquer.
people have more information on the legitimacy of this character named Robert Burns.
Go to WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line. Hi, you're on Hot Topics. Who are we speaking with?
Yes, this is James. I've been listening to the topic that you've been talking about, and I'd like to comment if I could.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've been researching this for a while, and you're on to it, put it that way. And the Robert Burns thing is definitely something that has been created. And if you look back, there has been how many different Facebook pages, different things that have come online that have been created, especially when John Marietta was running for the Recorder of Deeds. There was so much stuff that showed up on Facebook and stuff from different organizations, so to speak. I don't even think they were real, but there was a lot of this going on. And then you're mentioning Robert Burns. This is something, and then a friend of mine told me, he said, you're not on WMBS commenting on anything under. I said, no, because he said, well, there's a James on there. There's a lot of people hijacking stuff and saying stuff and saying, no, it's not me.
Wait, is that your last name though?
No, that's not my last name. No.
Okay. No. Is Sims your last name? You might not want to say,
No.
but okay.
No. So, but
He's
anyway,
since been blocked, thank God.
Okay, but anyway, yeah, because I wasn't doing that. But anyway, what you look at is when you look at Bucks County and what's going on in Bucks County and Fayette County, what John Marietta has done and is doing here, and what Cawson is doing in Bucks County is the same thing. What's happening is there's lawsuits, there's stuff that is brought up at council meetings, school board meetings. He was wanting to sue the police out there for the police running their cars in wintertime and not, being a good steward of their gas. And
Does he? Oh my gosh! Does he even know why they do that?
Yeah. Well, no. I'm just saying that's what he's done. And then also a friend of mine said, you might want to look at this because I found this. And here it was dealing with people who say that they've been in the military, and they kind of fib about their service. And what ends up happening is they're saying that they received awards and won this medal and that, and they haven't. And there's people that have gotten in serious trouble with that.
Yeah, that's a stolen valor thing, right?
Right. And if you go online, you can find that about this character. But the amazing thing to me is you just hit it, and you were so right, because if this is false, if Burns is false, and then a person goes on a program and says, well, we're going to have him in, that person knows that.
Yes.
And that's what frosts me is because this person knows it and is lying and has no problem about it.
Yep.
And that's what gets me. I have tried to tell people as an independent conservative that this guy is not what you think he is. He can lie very well. He's going to tell you that the sky is the prettiest blue and it's snowing 12 inches. He's going to do that. And this is what the character out in Bucks County is the same thing.
And you know why John Marietta gets away with it, though? Is because, well, for one, most people don't care about what these people care about as far as like Recorder of Deeds and oh my gosh. But here's how he gets away with it. He has a platform, which he's done a very good job at creating that platform for himself, and you can't take that away from him. But the fact that he comes on and says, "We the people, for the people, we the people, we the people," recorder of deeds, I come to my. He has a show. What, 1 or 2? How many, 1 or 2 days a week, Bill? Does he have a show?
It varies.
Okay, at least one.
Yeah.
I think it's 3 times, but go ahead.
He refuses to take calls.
Yes,
We the
he does.
people, for the people. Excuse me, you don't even take calls. Even George takes calls, and it to me it's so cowardly, and it's all BS.
Right, and one thing that bothers me about both of these guys is they portray this that I am such a believer, and I believe in God, and I'm such a good person, and they'll come on and use, and Costin's the same way. He's supposed to be a ordained minister, and these people come on and they do this, and then they'll hate some sort of group or person in the program, and it just turns you completely off.
I believe Kendall was on to something the day he called. I listened that day. I wasn't here that day, right? And she mentioned about Robert, and yeah, he told her, "Well, Kendall, have the day you deserve." That means, you know what? He's ticked off because you called him out,
and he means watch your back.
And he knows that there's that this is a question that nobody really wanted to ask.
There is so many fishy things. I mean, I know people that have raised money for the little girl walking with Reagan, and they're saying that there's been fundraisers that have supposed to be going on, and there was no money given to her from John Marietta. There's a lot of fishy things, and you're onto it, and keep doing it, because both of these persons in Bucks County and in Fayette County are like brothers from a different mother. They're the same thing, and they're walking the same, talking the same, and it's all a bunch of bull. Okay. It is.
Well,
and people need to wake up. Sorry, guys. Hey, don't get snowed on. Stay warm.
Really appreciate it. You have a good weekend. And this is Hot Topics with Kendall and Paul and Bill. You know, something else we were talking about during the break, and that's the problem is anybody can set up a website. Anybody can call themselves anybody they want to be. Yeah. And anybody can call themselves a journalist. And there's no, it's like I stand up here and I say, well, I think I know my way around the human body. I'm a doctor. Mm-hmm. But if you're going to call yourself a journalist, tell us why we should think you're a journalist. Now, we know that Paul is a journalist because he did it for 20, 30, 40, 100
Well,
years.
let's don't age me too much. It's 28 and a half years.
Yeah.
Counting college, probably 30.
Exactly. And you can show. I went to school. I worked at little...
I have a picture next to my name on LinkedIn. I'm real. I'm a human.
I worked at this little teeny tiny shopper for 5 years.
Yeah, well, you're right about that, Bill, and I'll go one step further. I mean, anyone can create a nice sounding website. It could be just one person, right? And
usually is.
And usually is. And you can call it anything fancy you want. People for a better Fayette County. And it sounds real good. And then you're on there like, we're out here to make Fayette County a better place by criticizing Bill Madden and Kendall. Remember, I think the sign that was in the concentration camp in Germany, one of them was like strength, joy through work or something. Yeah. That was the sign at the camp. There was something like that.
I don't know.
So when you it was a far cry from what really happened at the camp.
Wait, listen,
right?
Someone just texted me and said Robert Burns, Independent Pen, has posted a photo on his Facebook page to, quote-unquote, unmask himself in the past 24 hours. This person, I did an AI analysis of the image, and they concluded there is no public footprint matching this face, and the background is clearly generated. The AI analysis concludes that the image is likely to a stock photo, AI-generated photo repurposed to unveil himself. Oh my gosh!
Well, now, if I was going to
honestly, it's concerning.
If I was going to do that, I'd post a picture of George Clooney.
It's concerning. It's that level of obsession with something.
AI lets you do this stuff, and quite frankly, I believe a lot of this content that's being put on the internet, Facebook now in general, possibly on some of these websites in particular, is AI generated. Because you can just see that somebody's feeding the stuff into it and it's coming out that way. So a lot of the masquerading that can go on now as a legitimate news source or whatever can be enhanced by AI for sure. The wording, the verbiage, the whole deal.
I think if we want folks to come away with a lesson or moral or whatever you want to call it. Do not believe anything one person or organization says. Do your homework. Check their credentials. Check other websites. Check other sources of information, and make up your own mind.
But what she just said about this AI, right? What you just said about you, George Clooney, right?
Yeah.
Bill Madden could create a LinkedIn page or a Facebook page tomorrow.
Yeah.
And use a picture of Lorenzo Lamas or something, right?
Oh my gosh, this is him.
And this is supposed to be, you, right? Well, then come on the show, right?
Yeah.
Show up here. Come to Fayette County.
Well, that's
and
why I go to
legitimize
the,
your presence. Then to me that's the way to handle it.
Well, after the plastic surgery, I would come.
But why wouldn't you have done this from day one?
You think this guy cares about Greene County baseball?
There's a big topic in Greene County. The big Greene County baseball.
Robert Burns also writes about Greene County baseball, you guys.
Yeah, I think that's Paul Giamatti, actually. This is Hot Topics with Kendall and Bill.
Okay, my New Year's resolution was to listen to my body, and my body says it's tired, coughing, and hates January.
Sounds like your body wants MontyMed same-day care.
I tried ignoring it. That was resolution number 2.
Let me guess, you Googled it?
Yeah, now I'm scared.
Let's not do that. I'm Kendall Soliero, a provider at Montgomery Medical. Walk in, get real answers, and start feeling better. No appointment needed.
Wow, a resolution I can actually keep.
New year, same germs. Walk into Montgomery Medical today.
Find more snuggle time this winter and be prepared for the cold with the help of First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. With a home improvement loan, a home equity loan, or home equity line of credit, you can finally upgrade that old furnace, take care of that leaking roof, or replace those outdated floors. Keep the cold out and the warm and cozy in your home this winter. Visit a loan officer today or apply online at ffgc.bank. First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS number 458729. The best pizza in town is at Little E's Al Altre, Uniontown's newest restaurant with all the organic crust, classic or gluten-free, all organic sauces, all natural meats and toppings, and a variety of specialty pizzas, including vegan options. More than pizza, Little E's has hearty homemade soups, appetizers, calzones, and strombolis, plus a variety of salads with vegan and gluten-free options. Open Wednesday and Thursday 11 to 9, Friday and Saturday until 9:30. Phone 724-880-6012 or stop in Little E's 7 West South Street across from the parking garage.
Yeah, they're the people I trust. It's the place I go. Home, warehouse, where a house becomes a home.
Planning on some home improvement projects in 2026? Stop in Home Warehouse on Connellsville Street. Again, voted a best in Fayette place for windows and home improvements for the past 3 years. Home Warehouse is your one-stop shop for all your home exterior needs. There are beautiful windows, doors, and storm doors that will update your home, keep out drafts, and save on energy. Plus, roofing shingles, metal and commercial rubber roofing, siding, soffit and fascia, railing, as well as flooring, home and gun safes, and dog food too. So for great prices and hometown service, stop in and see Sandy and Donnie at Home Warehouse. Open Monday through Friday from 8 to 4:30, Saturday 8 to 12 noon.
Home, warehouse, where a house becomes a home.
Businesses come in all shapes and sizes. Integrity doesn't. For more than a century, the Better Business Bureau has set the standards for how businesses should operate honestly and ethically. So when you're looking for a business you can trust, check to see who's BBB accredited and who isn't. Always choose the better business. Look for the BBB seal because it's looking out for you. That's why it's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Having Hicks and Buzz Drugstore in Uniontown means reliability, quality, and service. Pharmacists Stephen Harper and Seth Miller gladly answer healthcare questions and take care of your prescription needs. Hicks and Buzz also offers free prescription delivery, mail-out service for snowbirds, and dependable courteous service, all part of their good neighbor way of doing business. Hicks and Buzz Drugstore, 304 Morgantown Street, phone 724-437-2828. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, Saturday till 3, closed Sunday at Hicks and Buzz Drugstore of Uniontown.
WNBS.
That song.
You look, oh, well, then I'll just turn off our mics and. I have By the way, I have a story on that.
On the Eagles?
On the Eagles. The Eagles.
Don't tell
now,
me you met them at some convenience store.
If I did, it would have been in a professional capacity with a mic in one of our hands. No, the Eagles have now been quantified as having the highest selling album of
Greatest
all time.
hits.
Greatest, the first one, Volume 1.
I have it.
So do I. And they have now sold over 40 million copies.
More than Thriller now.
Yeah. It's back and forth between them. But now, Volume 1 is the best-selling album of all time. I'm not sure, though, how much of that is actual individuals buying it.
Or downloads.
Well, not only that, but say baby boomers like you and me. We bought it as an album.
Mm-hmm.
We bought the cassette. We might have even bought the 8-track. We've also now bought the CD, and we bought the downloads.
Yeah, multiple
Yeah,
sales to one person, yeah.
You know, and not only that, we've worn out on that vinyl. So now, what I can't believe is albums that cost me $3 when I bought them are now going for $30. And you know, it's just like, because I think maybe I want to replace some of my albums, but I see $30, I'll put up with a few pops and scratches.
There you go.
A little tear on the album cover. Go to the WV Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line. Hi, you're on Hot Topics. Who are we speaking with?
This is Bill. Good afternoon to you guys. How you doing today?
Doing great, Bill.
Good to hear. Ready for that snow? I think everybody's ready, right?
Oh, yeah. Hey, is it cold enough for you?
Oh, I can't wait. Reason I call, I just want to echo what you said, Bill, about the get all the information you can on organizations or people or whomever. You know, ask around. You know, ask friends, ask relatives, ask neighbors, ask somebody who you might see in a bar or something. Ask somebody in the post office. Somebody will know the information you're looking for. And one other thing is important too is you look in there. If you know this person, they have an office, for example. Look on a wall if they have a certificate that they went to that school and got that degree in whatever it happens to be. And a lot of people overlook that stuff, and that's sad because people can do anything they want to until they get caught. Then you got to throw them underneath the bus, and then that's hard because the wheels on the bus go round and round, not thump. So, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was thinking that if you don't, then you turn into, what was his name, Frank Monfort, the Catch Me If You Can guy?
Mm-hmm. I think so, yes.
Who basically, you know, he would masquerade as an airline pilot and masquerade as a doctor, and he'd get away with it.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody called him out. Yeah. You know, if I walk down the street and say I'm a doctor, who's going to believe me? Everybody, they heard me, probably. Nobody's going to ask me for my credentials. Yeah. But I mean, my certificates. But if there's in an office, you better believe I'm going to look on a wall and say, "Hey, that's your certificate of graduation from whatever school you went to." But yeah, call people out because you know, if I do something, I tell people, if you don't like it, come to me and we'll talk about it. You know, with public office and stuff, and that's the way I am. You know, I'll tell you what happened. You know exactly what happened and why it would happen that way. It happened. So you just gotta call people out. You know, don't let go fighting.
Well, the only thing I would say, Bill, is that I don't want to call people lazy, but there you go. That takes work. It is just so much easier to sit there and watch Fox or watch MS Snow or whatever and say, okay, that's right, I'm going to take that as gospel. You know, instead of doing the work and doing, you know, going to other sources, because people just don't want to be bothered, I don't think.
They you know, a lot of times we'll get on the internet and look on there. Stuff on the internet is not necessarily 100% true either. Most of it is. A lot of it is. And probably 90, well, everybody I know goes and they'll Google something. Oh, yeah, I Googled it, and it is what it is. Well, that's okay. But when it comes down to, like you just said, people just, they don't bother anymore. And that's sad because people get away with murder, basically, if we wanted to.
Hey, Bill, thanks a lot. You have a
Bill,
good
stay
weekend.
warm.
Stay warm.
Okay, you guys be safe out there. God bless each and every one of you and your listeners. And it's real nice talking to you. Be safe and keep warm.
Thank you, sir. And 724-438-4593, the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line. Didn't want to get this into a discussion of the state of journalism, but the thing is with a newspaper or a professional news organization like CBS or Fox or whatever, is that because their credibility was on the line, they would make sure the person they were hiring was, had the training and the journalistic chops. And that's another problem with the internet. Nobody's
What
checking.
I would say is it's become fragmented.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is we were taught, as you said, Bill, to read multiple sources or listen to multiple sources of information and draw your own conclusions. That being, okay, the Wall Street Journal is known to be a conservative publication.
Right.
The New York Times is meant to be or thought to be a more liberal organization. Read both of them.
Right.
And then sort of filter out the fringes and come to your own conclusion. Both of them are probably trying to present both sides of view in the story, but the headlines can be misleading as well or tilt one way or the other.
Yeah.
I think what's happened now is there's no attempt to present both points of view in the internet story a lot of the times, especially from the websites that we're talking about. So it becomes then incumbent on the reader to fish around and read all 3, 4, 5, 6 of these sites and then try to piece together what's the truth here.
On Facebook?
Yeah, and that becomes even harder for the average person to do because it's not all presented in one place where you have what Bill Madden had to say, what Kendall Sisler had to say, and then you read another covering the meeting, and it would be another newspaper, and you would read theirs as well. Both of them make an attempt to present both sides, and then you can filter out any bias that you may see to get to your version of the truth or how you see the truth being. Now you're expecting people to go out and basically do their own research with all these one-sided so-called stories, which really aren't stories. They're sort of propaganda pieces or PR pieces, and that makes it harder for people to do that work and take that time.
Yeah, and another thing that has happened in news presentations is that everything has to be given in bite-sized morsels, where you used to be able, newspapers used to write stories, and then you'd have the jump, and you would go to the page 2, and there would be more of the story. Or there would be 2 or 3 stories on that subject.
Yeah, series over 3 days or whatever.
Yeah. And these days, on TV, and I said this last week, the average length of a story is 1.5 minutes. And they don't go, and they cannot give all the subtleties of a story in 1.5 minutes. They cannot do it in 5 inches of copy either. And that's USA Today. Most famously, they said basically, we want every story
12 inches or less or something.
Yeah, well, you have to read it in a minute. Mm-hmm. You're not going to get the subtleties and the details, and and that I think is, and that also may be why newspapers are going away, because they're not offering that as an alternative. So why not just go to watch TV? Because people, and they don't want to do the work of having to get all the subtleties out.
TV can never replace newspapers in the sense of the reporters and the expertise. TV always was sort of like the toy department, is what one of the professors at Penn State told me. And I saw it many, many times. There would be no TV reporter would come to Fayette County till there would be like
a big fire
riot at the housing authority meeting that I covered. Pretty much broke out.
Yeah.
And then we had film because we were there. And then the next thing you know, Channel 11's down here in the newsroom of the Herald Standard using the video that our person for HSTV had used. And they're down here, doing their own story on it, right? But they weren't here to figure out what was really going on at the Fayette County Housing Authority. That's an arduous job, ungrateful. A lot of the times of the work is hard and it's arduous and it's not really appreciated, I think, by a lot of people.
And in their defense, they also have to justify the expense.
Correct.
And everything, because it does cost money to come down here, set up the satellite truck.
It cost money for the Herald Standard
to
pay a staff of reporters to cover Fayette County. Not anymore, but it did cost money, and they shelled it out, And
this is Hot Topics, the WVU Madison Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. We have almost exhausted our time, and quite frankly, I'm exhausted. We'll be back with more after this.
Caring for an aging parent or a loved one with medical needs? FACT, Fayette Area Coordinated Transportation, can help. Seniors 65 and older ride free on our fixed routes. People with disabilities get discounted shared rides. And if your loved one has medical assistance, their trips to doctors or treatment are covered under the shared ride program. Give them safe, reliable independence and yourself peace of mind. Call 724-628-RIDE or visit factbus.com. FACT, your community, your connection.
Hey, you looking for a quality pre-owned vehicle? Well, look no more, because with over 200 vehicles, Gary's Auto Sales is the largest used car dealer in the area. Whether you want a car, a truck, or an SUV, you'll absolutely find what you're looking for at Gary's. Gary's has been in business since 1974. You can visit them online at Gary'sAutoSales.com, or you can give them a call at 724-626-8080. Gary's Auto Sales. Many miles, many smiles.
Looking for a fireplace? Koval Building Supply at 40 Monroe Avenue in Uniontown is more than your plumbing supply store. We specialize in fireplaces of all fuel types, such as gas, wood, pellet, and electric. We're now featuring Harmon pellet stoves from Forge and Flame, perfect for keeping your family warm and cozy. Call Koval today at 724-437-8824 or visit kovalsupply.com to start planning for the winter season. Koval Building Supply, everything you need to make your house feel like home.
Are you looking to list or sell your house? Now is the time to let the professionals at Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty help you with all of your real estate needs. Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty has two convenient locations to better serve you. In Uniontown area, 724-437-7100, or in Connellsville area, 724-628-7200, and speak with one of our real estate professionals. Visit our website, caldwellbanker.com. We have been proudly serving Western Pennsylvania area for over 30 years and look forward to helping you with all of your real estate needs. Broker Paul Board.
The Stephen R. Hockey Funeral Home and Sylvan Heights Cemetery on North Gallatin Avenue in Uniontown, along with their staff, are proud to once again sponsor Catholic Schools Week announcements by local students.
If you love your Catholic schools, say St. John's, St. John's. If you love your Catholic schools, say St. John's, St. John's. We learn and pray each day. We follow Jesus' way. If you love your Catholic schools, say St. John's, St. John's. Happy Catholic Schools Week.
Please join us at St. John's on Sunday, January 25th from 12 to 2 for our open house. Happy Catholic Schools Week.
Congratulations to our local Catholic school students, teachers, and administrators from the staff at the Stephen R. Hockey Funeral Home and Sylvan Heights Cemetery on North Gallatin Avenue in Uniontown. Proud to once again sponsor Catholic Schools Week announcements.
Your mental health is your most valuable asset. With 55 years of experience serving Western Pennsylvania, Chestnut Ridge Counseling Services is ready and able to assist you with all of your mental health needs. Offering over 20 specialized treatments, open access, and just-in-time scheduling means that you receive the treatment you need in a time-conscious fashion. Chestnut Ridge Counseling now offers telehealth, mental health urgent care with immediate access to a mental health professional with no appointment necessary. Call 724-437-0729. That's 724-437-0729 for mental health urgent care at Chestnut Ridge Counseling. Outpatient care options include individual, group, and family therapies, mental health and psychiatric evaluations, and medication services. Outpatient care and services are also available for patients under the age of 18, geared towards youth-centric problems and concerns. Take control of your mental health care with Chestnut Ridge Counseling Services. Call 724-437-0729 to set up an appointment or speak immediately with a mental health professional.
WNBS.
Closing time. One last call for alcohol. So finish your whiskey or beer.
And we are down to the last few minutes here of Hot Topics with Kendall and Paul and Bill. Real quick, coming up tonight, C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night. We have high school basketball. Sproul's Insurance Group pregame show is 6. I'm going to assume 6:40 since somebody's been writing over that. But the Uniontown Penn Trafford game will be on our WMBS Facebook page. Laurel Highlands at Latrobe will be on both WMBS Radio and YouTube. Both of those tip off at 7:30, and that's coming up tonight. And we've covered a lot of ground on this program, and talking about how disturbing the internet is, which has been one of our ongoing. This is a story that was in Town Hall today. You know that Caroline Leavitt, President Trump's press secretary, and Usha Vance, the second lady, are both pregnant.
I knew that Usha was. Congratulations to both of them.
Well, unfortunately, there are those that do not share your sentiment.
Shame on them. Shame on them.
There are, and I've seen the videos. There are people are posting videos saying that they hope that Caroline Leavitt has a brutal tearing when she gives birth, and urging Usha Vance to get an abortion.
Shame on them.
And these people are making videos.
They're sick, lonely, empty people.
And I'm not saying that there's not conservatives out there that would do the same thing. I would hope not, but I'm sure there
But what
are.
does that point that even matter, right?
Yeah,
What does that point even matter?
Sick is sick.
It's sick is sick. You know, it's sick is sick.
Yeah.
And, you know.
Look, I think
They
that
have to
it starts to get to the viewing the people that think differently than you as the enemy, and that their opinion doesn't count. You know, and I've had a couple of my best, longest-lasting friends. We've had political discussions and arguments for many, many years, opposite sides, but there always was a level of respect.
Yeah.
And I think that you only grow whenever you're willing to hear someone else outside of your own echo chamber. You know, and I think that one very good friend says that he's moved a little bit toward the middle from his position, and I've moved a little bit to the middle from what my position used to be. And we sort of helped each other get to that point.
Were you both both
opposite sides?
Oh, okay.
Opposite sides of the spectrum, and and I think that I feel like in my own case that the line moved on me from where I was. You know, sort of the Ronald Reagan thing. Like the line moved on me so far. I mean, the story there was that when David Souter was appointed to the Supreme Court by, I think it was Bush, the first Bush, he was viewed as a conservative justice. By the time he left, he was viewed as a member of the liberal bloc. And his positions on things never changed. It's just that the guys and the women that came after him were so far to the right of him that he became viewed as a more liberal guy. But when he was put on the court, he was not viewed as such.
Yeah.
So anyway.
And again, what also distresses me is that there are people out there who have no problem with making a video like that and thinking that this is appropriate.
That it's okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like people that walk around with and
I've said this before.
Yeah.
I'll say it again. You know, I think that in my youth, the big election of 1960 is a really good, very close. Yeah. John F. Kennedy and Richard Nixon.
Yeah, less about a half million votes.
But I always thought, and I thought most people of my age thought, that these are two guys who both at the core believe they're doing the right thing for the United States of America. It's just that they have a different idea on how best to achieve that.
Sure.
But I never would think that Richard Nixon was not a patriot, or that John F. Kennedy was not a patriot, or didn't care about the United States of America.
They both served in World War II.
Exactly. And I think that we've gotten away from that, and name calling and nastiness, and derogatory
Families being
comments.
divided.
Yeah.
And,
Friendships being
derogatory
destroyed.
comments are the issue, or the matter of the day, and I don't know that that's a good thing for dialogue or for,
Or
you win some and you lose some, and throughout history the pendulum swings, right?
Yeah.
You have the Warren Court, and then it goes back the other direction, and you got to take your lumps. I mean, sometimes your side is in power, sometimes it's not in power. But I think that it's a good thing that pendulum swings, because if one party stays in power, or one person stays in power for too long, guess what you end up with?
Soviet Russia.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and by the way, the pendulum will swing. At some point in time, the court and both houses of Congress and the White House will all be liberal. And then they'll all be conservative again. And I think, though, the pendulum seems to be swinging a lot faster.
You think so?
Yeah, because it took something like 50 years for the Republicans to take over the House of Representatives under Newt Gingrich. And now how many times have we seen them swing back and forth since then?
Yeah.
So anyway, that comes close to wrapping up the hour. Football this weekend. Do you have any ideas on, would you make it? My picks are because they talk about it on Thursday. So Patriots and Broncos, Rams and Seahawks.
I think the Patriots are a team to watch. Mike Vrabel has done an excellent job in a couple years of turning that team around.
Yeah.
Shows it can be done for all the people that think losing Mike Tomlin is this big thing that will set you back 10 years.
They're going to wait forever, and then they're going to give Mike McCarthy the job.
Well, he's done a great job moving that team in the right direction, and who's in the other one? The national
Rams
champions,
and
Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Seahawks are pretty tough.
Yeah,
but don't count Matt Stafford out. He's one of those guys who can put the team on his shoulders.
Next week we'll talk Super Bowl on your local station, WMBS. You need to have Democratic Radio Hours.
Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. A major winter storm is forecast to bring a mix of ice, snow, and frigid conditions to a 2,000-mile expanse of the country, from the southern plains to the south and up to the northeast through the weekend. Meals on Wheels volunteers across the South are scrambling to make extra deliveries. More from CBS's Michael Wallace.
Hello, it's Sam with Metro Meals on Wheels.
Samantha Donaldson is delivering a week's worth of shelf-stable meals to her clients in Nashville in case the power goes out. At Meals on Wheels Atlanta, CEO Charlene Crusoe Ingram's volunteers have already delivered meals to cover several days.
For inclement weather, we have to have a plan, and we do.
This meal recipient in Atlanta appreciates the effort.
It makes me feel really loved and cared for. I've never received this kind of love before in my life.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
The Department of Homeland Security disputes a Minnesota school district's claim that ICE agents used a 5-year-old boy as bait before taking the boy and his father into custody on Wednesday. DHS officials allege that the father, whom they describe as an illegal immigrant from Ecuador, was taken into custody as other ICE officers stayed with the child. Border Patrol Commander-at-Large Gregory Bovino is accusing the media and protesters of spreading false narratives about what immigration agents are doing.
I challenge any other law enforcement agency anywhere nationwide to show me the fantastic care that ICE and U.S. Border Patrol provide children. Don't come across the border illegally, especially don't commit crimes, or there will be consequences.
From the powder to the pen, the FBI has captured one of its most wanted fugitives, former Olympic snowboarder and alleged drug kingpin Ryan Wedding. FBI Director Kash Patel.
Here we are today, bringing him to justice for trafficking hundreds of kilos of cocaine and also for the murder of innocent civilians.
President Trump and Vice President Vance have addressed the annual March for Life in the nation's capital. On stage, the vice president told the crowd,
all of us in the Trump administration, from the president on down, we thank you for your prayers, we thank you for your perseverance, and we thank you that for today, we are all marching for life.
Video game makers entered 2026 with positive momentum. CBS's Jason Brooks.
Industry researcher Circana reported that video game industry sales rose 3% in December from a year earlier, thanks to strong content sales.
fueled by a 24% jump in subscription spending. Hardware sales rose 6%, with the Nintendo Switch 2 the leading console seller, while demand declined for Sony's PlayStation 5 and Microsoft's Xbox, with the Xbox suffering its worst ever year for sales.
Stocks mixed on Wall Street. The Dow was down 291 points.